Welcome to the Shire of Ashburton Ordinary Council meeting being held in Council Chambers at the Onslow Shire Complex, 2nd Avenue, Onslow. I declare the meeting open at 1 p.m. Please ensure your mobile phones are turned off or set to silent for the duration of the meeting. We are live streaming and audio recording systems today. Please remember to use your microphones when speaking. Council meetings are public and any information you provide may be recorded and could be publicly accessible. Please note that the council chambers do not operate under parliamentary privilege. Elected members and staff may be held personally liable for any defamatory comments or breaches of confidentiality. Statements made during council meetings are solely the view of the individual speaker. Comments cannot be attributed to the Shire unless formally adopted by a resolution of the Council. Elected members and employees must disclose any financial, proximity or partiality interests related to agenda items. This declaration should be made at the start of the meeting or at the latest prior to the item being discussed. Disclosures must comply with the Local Government Act 1995. Elected members who disclose a financial or proximity interest must refrain from participating in discussions related to that interest and must leave the meeting during that item. The confirmed minutes of a council meeting serve as the official record. Recordings of council meetings must not be copied, republished, or reproduced without the express permission of the Shire. Item 1.1 Acknowledgement of Country. As representatives of the Shire of Ashburton Council, we respectfully acknowledge the local Indigenous people, the traditional custodians of this land where we are meeting upon today, and pay our respects to them and all their elders, past, present, and emerging. Item 2, announcement of visitors. We do not have any. Item 3, attendance. So my declaration, in accordance with Regulation 14C, subsection 2B of the Local Government Administration Regulations 1996, I have approved Councillor Alana Sullivan to attend this meeting via electronic means, noting there are in instantaneous communication with the meeting. Councillor Sullivan, may I please have you read your declaration?
In accordance with Regulation 14CA5 of the Local Government Administration Regulations 1996, I declare that I can maintain confidentiality during the meeting or the closed part of the meeting.
Thank you, Councillor Sullivan. 3.1, present, as it has been published in the agenda. We do not have any guests. We have not got any members of the public, neither do we have members of the media. 3.2, apologies. We do have one. It's from Councillor Kerry White, Deputy Shire President, Onslow Ward. 3.3, approved leave of absence. Councillor Rory DePledge, Ashburton Tablelands Ward, from 18th of March 2025 to 18th of March 2025. Item 4, question time. 4.1, response to previous public question time, question taken on notice. 4.1.1, public question taken on notice, 18th of February 2025. This was published on the agenda and also will be published in our minutes. 4.2, public question time. Do not have any.
Madam President, I think you might have part of 3.1. I don't remember you reading out and asking questions whether they had any conflict of interest or whatever.
We are getting to that, Councillor.
I apologise.
Rumble.
I'm just trying to follow the format, that's all.
4.2, public question time. We do not have any. Item 5, declaration by members. Elected members, I will go around the room and please state that you have given due consideration. Councillor Sullivan.
Yes.
Councillor Galliner. Yes. Councillor Rumble.
Yes.
Councillor Lynch.
Yes.
Councillor Kapoor.
Yes.
And Councillor Healy.
Yes.
And me, myself, and yes. 5.2, Declaration of Interest. A member who has an impartial proximity of financial interest in any matter to be discussed at this meeting must disclose the nature of interest either in written notice given to the Chief Executive Officer prior to the meeting or at the meeting immediately before the matter is discussed. A member who makes a disclosure in respect to an interest must not preside at a part of the meeting which deals with the matter, or participate in, or be present during any discussion or decision-making process relative to the matter, unless the disclosing member is permitted to do so under Section 5.68 or Section 5.69 of the Local Government Act 1995. Chief Executive Officer, may I please ask you to read the declaration?
Thank you. Councillor Healy, indirect financial interest. My partner is employed by Rio Tinto. He receives HSB payments and we benefit by subsidised utilities. Councillor Kapoor, indirect financial interest. My husband is employed by Rio Tinto. My family and I reside in Rio Tinto housing and benefit from subsidised rent and subsidies. Shire President Smith. My husband is an employee of Rio Tinto and holds shares exceeding the prescribed threshold. I am a committee member with the Aware Group Incorporated, which is a partnership with Rio Tinto. Councillor Lynch, indirect financial interest. I'm an employee and tenant of Rio Tinto. I'm paid a salary by Pilbara Iron. Councillor Rumble, JP, direct financial interest. I'm a shareholder of Rio Tinto that has a greater value of $10,000. Councillor Galliner, direct financial interest. My husband works for Rio Tinto. We both have shares collectively and individually above the prescribed amount. We live in company housing. Councillor Sullivan, direct financial interest. My husband works for Rio Tinto and I and my husband live in a subsidised accommodation provided by Rio Tinto. I and my husband own shares in the Rio Tinto above the prescribed amount. Request for tender 0525, construction of sports lighting. Lighting oval upgrades. Shire President A. Smith, direct financial, same information as what I've read previously. Councillor Healy, direct in financial, same information as read previously. Councillor Kapoor, indirect financial, same information as already placed on record. Councillor Lynch, same information has already been placed on record. Councillor Rumble, direct financial, same information as already placed on record. Councillor Galliner, direct financial, same information has already been identified. And Councillor Sullivan, direct financial, same information as I already read out on the previous item.
Thank you, Dr. Gary Hunt. Item 6. Announcement by the presiding member and councillors without discussion. Councillor Healy, do you have anything to announce?
No.
Councillor Kapoor?
No.
Councillor Lynch?
No.
Councillor Galliner?
No.
Councillor Rumble?
No.
Councillor Sullivan?
No.
Me, myself, no. Item 7, petitions, deputations and presentations. 7.1, petitions, we do not have any. 7.2, deputations, we have not received any. 7.3, presentations. 7.3.1, Robe River Roundup magazine. I invite Councillor Galliner up to the front. We'll need you to go, you can speak here so we can hear, to present.
There you go. I present them to you on behalf of Rio Tinto, and these have been kindly donated by Craig and Julie Marsh. They would like them to be remaining in the Panawanica Library until such time as the Panawanica, if it does close, they'd then like them to be taken to the State Library. So this is all the Robe River uses, so everybody have a little look at that in just 1 second. I've also got this one so we can get it on camera.
We'll need you, sorry, Councillor Galliner, we need you to Are you coming this way again?
And this one is by Hugh Bryan, legendary documentary photographer who's done a book on the 50 years of Panawanica and also presenting that one as grandson. It's an amazing little book.
Oh, wonderful.
You'll be able to take that to the book, won't you?
Thank you, Councillor Galliner, and also thank you to Ritinto and Julie and Craig Marsh and, sorry, what's the other person's name again? Brian.
Hugh Bryan,
Hugh
documentary
Brown
photographer.
as well for these amazing books, and I'm sure the residents and visitors to Panawanica will enjoy this, and I look forward to reading through them as well.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Item 8, application for leave of absence. We do not have any. Item 9, en bloc resolutions. 9.1, agenda items adopted en bloc. Council adopts the following item en bloc. 10.1.1, minutes of the ordinary council meeting held on the 18th of February 2025. 10.2.1, minutes of the Audit and Risk Management Committee meeting held on 18th of February 2025. Are there any questions, councillors? May I please have a mover and a seconder? Councillor Kapoor, seconder, Councillor Healy. Councillor Kapoor, being the mover, would you want to speak on this item?
No.
Councillor Healy? Are there anyone who will speak against? Councillor, can I please have a show of hands that you're in support of this? Thank you, Councillor Sullivan. That's carried 7-0. Item 12. Office of the Chief Executive Officer Report. 12.1, Chief Executive Officer recruitment, approval of position, description, selection criteria, and selection panel. I believe we have an alternative motion.
Yes, so the alternative motion that Council 1 notes Councillor Matthew Lynch resignation from the Chief Executive Officer Recruitment Selection Panel, and 3 appoints Councillor Healy to the selection panel.
I'm happy to second that.
So Councillor Healy is moving it. And Councillor Sullivan. Councillor Healy, being the mover, would you like to speak on this?
Just to thank Councillor Lynch for his work on the panel up until this point. He's always got great contributions in everything that he takes part in, and I just understand that it's time to step down in that role, and I'm happy to step in and hold the fort in that area.
Councillor Sullivan, being the seconder, would you like to speak on this?
Yes, I've enjoyed my time on the CEO recruitment panel. I think having 5 members makes the process really robust with great discussion, and I support Councillor Healy's appointment.
Is there anyone like to speak against this item? If not, councillors, may I please have a show of hands if you support this item? Councillor Sullivan, thank you. That is carried 7-0. Item 13, Corporate Service Report. 13.1, Policy Review and New Policy Proposal, March 2025. The recommendation that Council accepts the review undertaken and adopts the amendments to the following Council policy. A, Workplace Health and Safety as detailed in Attachment 1. B, Purchasing and Procurement as detailed in Attachment 2. And C, Memorials on Shire land as detailed in Attachment 3. 2, adopts the following new council policies. A, Fraud and Corruption as detailed in Attachment 4. B, Financial Hardship as detailed in Attachment 5. 3, repeals Council's policy Financial Hardship COVID-19 as detailed at Attachment 6. Are there any questions, councillors? Yes, Councillor Rumble.
This is just a question. I want to know why in the document of the health and safety, I see that you put a red line in the policy regarding taking out their health and safety out of association. What, is there any reason for that, or is it not needed or whatever? It's in the attachment there, in the policy, if you read the policy.
Director of Corp.
Do you want me to try to find it for you? Or?
Sorry, Deputy CEO.
It's just a question. It's in the policy. You've got a line through it on the Welfare Association, not in the document. I just want to understand why. Would that be, or what was the
It would
reason?
be on advice from our work health and safety advisor, just to tidy up the document and make it in sync probably with the acts.
Yeah. So that association that it was in the policy, was that irrelevant or what?
Sorry, Councillor Rummel, I'm just trying to figure out what you're talking about by association.
Well, in the policy that they must have been a member of this health and, yeah. There's a line through here and it's got legislation and then go wipe out the Association of WA's regulation. So.
Page 106 in the
I think
attachment.
that's to do with the, sorry, through the chair, I think that's to do with the legislative changes that have come in with the WHS Act.
Okay. Thank you.
I think you'll also find that the regulations are legislated under the Act, so there's no real need to mention it.
Okay. Thank you.
May I please have a mover as a seconder for this pause item? Councillor Healy and Councillor Lynch. Councillor Healy, being the mover, would you like to speak on this item?
No.
Councillor Lynch as a seconder? No. Is there anyone against, would like to speak against this item? If none, may I please have a show of hands, councillors, for this proposal? Thank you. That is carried 7-0. Item 13.2. Local Government Reform Consultation, Chief Executive Officer Matters and Online Registers. With the recommendation that Council endorses the Shire of Ashburton's submission on the proposed reforms as detailed in Attachment 4, authorise the Chief Executive Officer to make this submission to the Western Australian Local Government Association and Department of Local Government, Sports and Cultural Industries. Councillors, are there any questions on this item? There's no questions. May I please have a mover and a seconder? Councillor Lynch and Councillor Kapoor. Councillor Lynch, as the mover, would you like to speak on this item? Councillor Kapoor, would you?
No.
Thank you. Is there anyone who would like to speak against this item? If there's no one, may I please have a show of hands, council? That is carried 7-0. Item 13.3, 2024-2023 Annual Budget Review. The recommendation, Council adopts the 2024-25 Mid-Year Budget Review as detailed in Attachment 1. Adopts amendments to the 2024-25 adopted annual budget as detailed in Attachment 2. Councillors, are there any questions? No, may I please have a mover and a seconder? Councillor Lynch and Councillor Galliner. Councillor Lynch, would you like to speak on this? Councillor Galliner as a seconder, would you?
No.
Thank you. Councillors, is there anyone who would like to speak against this annual budget review item? Thank you, councillors. May I please have a show of hands that you're in support? That is carried 7-0. 13.4. Monthly schedule of accounts paid February 2025. Recommendation that Council, in accordance with Regulation 13 and 13A of the Local Government Financial Management Regulations 1996, confirms the monthly schedule of accounts paid for February 2025, inclusive of purchasing cards payments for January 2025, as included at Attachment 1. Councillors, are there any questions? I do have some questions, and I suppose it's for EFT, they're all similar. So EFT 74395, page 207. EFT 74478, page 208. May I please ask what vehicle was purchased for the amount, which is quite a considerable amount, and it says vehicle purchases, parts and maintenance from Pilbara Motor Group. Councillor Culprit.
Sorry, I'll just bring up the payment listing, but as I'm doing that, I would suspect it's the new CEO vehicle.
There is 2 vehicles that is purchased.
Sorry, what's the EFT again for that one?
74395 and 74478, page 207 for the first one and 208 for the second.
Okay, so we've bought during this month, we bought a new Toyota Hilux 4x4 for a total of $62,782.73. Another new Hilux as part of our plant replacement program for $62,782.73. And then there was on-road costs of $260.55 for each of those.
So they were cumulative of vehicles?
Yeah, all the vehicles through Pilbara Motor Group are part of our normal annual plant replacement program that was approved during the 24-25 budget deliberations.
Okay. All right. Just so it wasn't clear on what they were, that's all. If maybe in future we could have something, I know it's really difficult in that description. And also page 211, EFT 74606, there is over $1 million of vehicle parts, maintenance and repair from Hitachi Construction Machinery. I'm assuming, can I ask what machinery that is, and is that for the waste management?
Sorry, you said that was over $1 million?
Yep, 1.1.
Just looking at the detailed payment listing.
Page 211.
Yep.
Through you, Madam Chair, it was the purchase of 3 new loaders to replace loaders at our waste transfer stations.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. I thought it was, but because it didn't say what it was, maybe in future maybe we could have some description.
Sorry, through the chair, the detailed confidential listing that we provide councillors does have that additional information to the one that's to the public.
All right. May I please have a mover and a seconder for this? Councillor Kapoor and Councillor Healy. Councillor Kapoor, do you have any to speak on this? Councillor Healy? Is there anyone who wants to speak against this item? No. Councillors, may I please have a show of hands? That is carried 7-0. 13.5, monthly financial statement, February 2025. Officer's recommendation that Council, in accordance with Regulation 34 of the Local Government Financial Management Regulation 1996, accepts the statement of financial activity and associated documentation for February 2025 as included in attachment 1. Are there any questions for this? May I please have a mover and a seconder? Councillor Healy and Councillor Lynch. Councillor Healy, as a mover, would you like to speak on this item? Councillor Lynch, as a seconder? No. Is there anyone who'd like to speak against this item? All right, if there's no, may I please have a show of hands, councillors, in support of this item? It's carried 7-0. Item 14, Infrastructure Services Report. 14.1, Request for Tender 1.25 Maintenance and Upgrade Works, Roban Whitney Road. The recommendation that Council accepts the evaluation panel's recommendation as provided in the confidential attachment 1 and approves the award of contract to Tenderer 4 to undertake the tender works under request for tender 1.25 Maintenance and Upgrade Works, Roban Whitney Road, for the total contract price of $3,725,213, excluding GST. 2. Authorises the Chief Executive Officer to negotiate and enter into a formal contract with Tenderer 4 for the tendered works under request for tender 1.25 Maintenance and Upgrade Works, Roban Whitney Road. Are there any questions on that? Councillor Rumble?
No, you want to move it, don't you?
All right, may I please have a mover? Councillor Rumble and Councillor Lynch. Councillor Rumble, as a mover, would you like to speak on it?
I would, Madam President. I'd like to speak on this. I think this is a great outcome for our Shire, and I appreciate, as you know, Mr. Harris is new to our Shire, and I know that with Councillor Sullivan and myself, we've been to the road group meeting together and to go through to sort out the funding that we need to do our roads and support the amount of money going towards roads. So excellent work, and I'd like to see more road work be done in the future. So thanks very much.
Councillor Lynch, as a seconder, would you like to speak on this? No? Is there anyone who'd like to speak against this item? All right, councillors, if no one, I'll close the debate, and can I please have a show of hands if you support this? That is carried, 7-0. We're just going to...
Maybe if we can do the rest of the agenda and come back in case we get...
All right. Okay. Item 15, Community Development Report. 15.1, Shire of Ashburton Youth Branding. Officer's recommendation that Council approves the use of branding option 3, Adventurous Youth V2 for all youth-related promotional material for the Shire. 2, adopt the amended council policy Shire of Ashburton logo and crest as detailed in attachment 3. Are there any questions, councillors? Councillor Lynch?
Is the branding, that A branding, going to be locked up with the Shire of Ashburton logo?
Director of Community Development?
Sorry, Councillor Lynch, are you asking if our Shire branding will be included as well on the...
Because it makes no sense without it.
Yeah, it will. It'll be a lot smaller though. Yep, thank you.
Councillor Rumble, you have a question?
Yeah, there's two questions. One, I wasn't that impressed by the amount of people being interviewed from Paraburdoo. Two there and 8 for option 1 and 8, option 3. And the other thing is, with this branding, what benefit is the youth going to get? Like, does this mean it inlines for a youth centre activities, or is it? Well, what's it for? Like, my brain, maybe I've missed something in the document.
So I'll
but-
pass it on to Director of Community Development.
Thank you, Shire President. Councillor Rumble, it's to have the youth have ownership of the events and the programs that we put on throughout the towns. So to get the engagement,
Through the President, I somehow missed that, but anyway, thank you.
No problem. May I please, Councillor Lynch?
Just on the numbers being interviewed there, Linton, so Tom Price Senior High School, they went through there and did 28.61, so there'd probably be a lot of para youth attending the high school.
Thank you, Councillor Lynch.
All right. May I please have a mover and a seconder? Councillor Rumble, Councillor Galliner. Councillor Rumble, as the mover, would you like to speak on this?
I think there's been enough said on the matter. Thank you.
Councillor Galliner, as a seconder, did you have anything to add on? No, thank you. Is there anyone against this item? All right, councillors, may I please have a show of hands that support this recommendation? That is carried 7-0.
Oh, perhaps I can make a comment here.
All right, I'll pass the next two items to the CEO, Dr. Gary Hunt.
Thank you, Madam President. Despite the best efforts of the staff, we have not been successful in getting authority from the Department of Local Government for you to deal with these two matters, and therefore I recommend they lay on the table to the next meeting. I will be in Perth on Friday at a session with the Department of Local Government on the new legislation. I'm advised the Director General will be there. I will seek her out to draw to attention the ludicrous situation this council faces with matters like this. It's not as if it's the first time. It may well be that caretaker government, being in caretaker mode, is an issue, but I would have thought that this Shire has applied on enough occasions that there ought to be a process in place. So my apologies, but I suggest you lay it on the table for the next meeting.
Okay, so item 15.2, request for tender 4.25, design and construction, Pannawonica Bike Park, and item 15.3, request for tender 5.24, construction of sports lighting over upgrades, will be laid on the table until we get seek approval.
Sorry, Madam-
Excuse me.
Excuse me, Madam President, I have a question.
Hang on, Councillor Sullivan, just hang on a minute because Councillor Lynch is about to ask first. I'll come to you.
Would it be possible to throw a special
Yes,
meeting
that's my
in
question.
to get these agenda items across the line?
If we get the permission through, then I'll liaise with the President in terms of the opportunity to hold a special meeting, yes. I'm just suggesting lay on the table because based on current situation, I don't know whether you've seen, but in the information published by the ABC, there's not even a designated Minister for Local Government in the items that have been published, which I find a little unusual as well.
I support Councillor Lynch's also to do a special meeting because this has gone on far too long. It's absolutely ridiculous.
All right. Councillor Sullivan?
Yes, my question was the same. Could we please have an urgent special meeting once we get approval? Pannawonica has waited far too long and our lighting, so many people have done so much work to get that done. I would really like to get the works underway.
Yeah, we would, myself and the CEO will discuss this as we get the approvals, and we'll call on for a special council meeting to get this. This is a needed upgrade and item for both our community, all our communities. So we will definitely, until we know what's happening, like CEO said, we do today's announcement. We don't even have a name of a minister for local government. So. Yes, Mr. CEO.
Thank you. The Manager of Governance just reminded me, perhaps if the resolution could be that the council notes that it is unable to deal with these matters today. Secondly, that if the approval is provided by the Department of Local Government, that a special meeting of the council be convened to address the issue. In the case that that isn't the position, then it would be laid on the table for the next council meeting, which is in April. I think that will cover that. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Item 16, councillor agenda items, notice of motion. We do not have any. Item 17, new business of an urgent nature introduced by council decision. I would like to put a motion forward to call for a special council meeting to address those two items. Subject to, do we have to get minister's approval?
You still will need a minister's approval, but apologies. Council can resolve to have a completely online special council meeting because in the last 12 months we've held one in person. So if council resolves to hold a special council meeting online, we can seek to get approval on the matter towards the end of the week. You would just need to pick a date for next week that would be appropriate. I don't know if you can do that.
Can we make it next Tuesday for a special council? I put a motion forward for a special council meeting online for item 15.3 and 15.2 to be online, and for Tuesday at 7 p.m. The 25th of March 2025. Can I have a seconder for this motion? Yeah. Councillor Lynch. Is there anyone like to speak against this? All right. Can I please have a show of hands support this motion? Councillor Sullivan? That is carried 7-0. Item 18, confidential matters. financial item at 1:40 p.m. Item 19, next meeting. The next ordinary council meeting will be held at 1 p.m.
Can we just read out the motion that was behind?
Sorry. My apologies. So the motion was carried at 7-0 as per officer's recommendation for item 18.1. So it supports, council supports subject to section 3.58 of the Local Government Act 1995, a licence agreement over a portion of lot 200 Macaulay Road, Onslow Airport, being an approximate 100 square metre portion of an airport hangar known as Hangar Mike to Mr. Trevor Buckland for a period of 6 months with one further option of 6 months. 2, authorises the Chief Executive Officer to negotiate the terms of the licence agreement with Mr. Trevor Buckland, generally in accordance with the terms outlined in this report. 3, authorises the Chief Executive Officer to advertise the details of the proposed licence agreement at lot 201 Macaulay Road, Onslow, with Mr. Trevor Buckland, by way of local public notice for a period of notice not less than 2 weeks. And 4, authorises the Chief Executive Officer to consider and determine any submissions received in response to point 3 and negotiate and execute the licence agreement and associated documents for a portion, lot 201 Macaulay Road, Onslow Airport, being an approximate 100 square metres portion of an airport hangar known as Hangar Mike on lot 201 Macaulay Road, Onslow, between the Shire of Ashburton and Mr. Trevor Buckland. Thank you. Item 19, the next ordinary council meeting will be held at 1 p.m. on Tuesday, 15th of April 2025 at Ashburton Hall, Ashburton Avenue, Paraburdoo. 20, closure of meeting. There being no further business, I, the presiding member, close this meeting at 1:43 p.m. Thank you, councillors and everyone, for attending.